Rozpoczynamy już za 5 minut. Prosimy o zajmowanie swoich miejsc.
That's it. Turn the page on the day, walk away. Cause there's sense in what I say. I'm 45th generation Roman, but I don't know nor care when I'm speaking. So return to your sitting position and listening to fitting. Now miles ahead and entice me. Show your face on TV, then we'll see. You can't do art, my crew dance. You would rather cuss the verses. You rain down curses, but I'm waving your hearses, driving by. Streets riding high when the beats in the sky. Balls dead, eyes glazed. Garrisburg down to fire rage. For 40 days in 40 ways. But through the blaze they see the fade. They see a black thing heat on their faces. Their figure emerges from the wastage. Eyes transfixed with a piercing gaze. One hand clutching a sword, raising the sky. They wonder how, they wonder why.
Prosimy o zajmowanie miejsc. Już za minutę startujemy.
Hello and welcome to the Pre-Zero Arena in Gliwice and a brand new season of the FIM SuperEnduro World Championships. I'm Dave Moore and this is round one of the campaign, the Grand Prix of Poland. You want gnarly, we've got the gnarliest. You want brutal, we've got brutal. You want drama and excitement, we have both in abundance. And it's all coming up tonight here in Poland. We're off to Germany at the beginning of January, then in Spain, back in Bilbao for the first time since 2019. Budapest, of course, Belgrade, Serbia, a new one for the calendar, Newcastle again, and Douai in France to complete the campaign. This is quite simply the best entertainment. We've got the hottest ticket on the planet right now, and alongside me for the journey once again is Paul Bolt. Good evening, Paul, as we look back on what was a fantastic year 12 months ago.
Hey Dave, yeah, what an action-packed season we did have last year, and it's only going to be bigger and better this year. We've had a lot of changes of riders, we've got new riders joining in. We'll fill you in a bit more about that. But yeah, tonight here, the track's looking mega, and it's going to be one hell of a racetrack.
So we just saw some highlights there from Poland last year with Fernandez, and then we went on to Riesa in Germany.
And that sand section caused holy hell all night, as well as that section as well. This was the youth class there, getting through some stuff. But yeah, the Riesa always delivers well, and I have just had a little sneaky preview of that track out there in Germany. So it's going to be good.
We saw Lashka there as well, so yeah, starting with the youth class here. And also youth, it's the second time this season in this campaign that we've had the youth championship, and it was a great edition last year. What a success.
It was fantastic, Dave. You know, them 125 bikes getting wrung out,
just like Connor Watson was there.
Yeah, exactly. And they went hard at it. The heart was right there with all the youth riders. They were doing a great job, and then we moved on to Poland, Dave.
Yeah, into Łódź. And again, the youth championship last year,
and another sand section.
It was, but it became in the end of the campaign. It became down to two riders, wasn't it?
It did.
It was Fraser Lamkin certainly was trying hard, and he was getting some great results.
Yeah, and Godino there, obviously getting that top step at that one. But really famous in Łódź was that up and down section that goes round the back of the arena there.
Now, Budapest in Hungary, as I said before looking at the calendar, an absolute stalwart in the campaign every year, always delivers. And again,
yeah, huge jump there was, and they had to change that jump, if you remember rightly, David. They had to make it a little bit shorter because they were worried about some of the riders maybe not getting over it in a bit of danger, but all was done, and it was a cracking race.
Then, of course, we're in Newcastle for the penultimate round of the campaign in the Youth Championship, and by this time it was all down between Godino and Lamkin.
Yeah, it was, and Lamkin was riding fantastic, as well as Godino and all the rest of the crew. You know, Lashka was also struggling a little bit early on in the season with some mechanicals, but yeah, making the most of it, and it was Fraser on home turf.
It was. So we came down to the final round in Gliwice to crown the first youth champion in the FIM SuperEnduro Championship.
Man,
Godino that was, wasn't it? Godino just needed a handful of points from memory to secure the crown. Fraser Lamkin put in a great ride in front of the home crowds, but yeah, Godino in the end took the title.
Yeah, Fraser did all he could to the last second of the championship, and that's how it all rounded up, Dave.
Yeah, with Lashka taking third ahead of Connor Watson, Buchewicz, Kropic, and quite a few of these riders are back here tonight in Poland, in Gliwice as well. So we'll bring you more of that later on as the show gets on.
Yeah, Ramon Godino moving up to...
Okay, let's hear then from the SuperEnduro World Champion, looking for a 6th consecutive crown, is Billy Bolt.
And the big star of the last season and also several seasons before that is here with me, Billy Bolt. Billy, I think that everyone, your fans and basically your rivals as well, are wondering how do you do it to manage 5 world champion titles, but also to win it with such a big point lead?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It's not easy. I think I guess looking at the points gap and stuff, you maybe think it's easy, but the guys are working hard and pushing me hard all the time. You know, I have to be giving 100% every time I go on track. And like I say, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy today. We've got a pretty difficult track, really slippy conditions. You have to be really patient to ride it fast. And first two sessions weren't too bad. I wasn't super happy, and then made quite a lot of mistakes in the last one. So yeah, not my best performance in time qualifying, but we have a long night to go. SuperPole, three main events. Let's see how it goes.
And of course, this season you're fighting for your 6th title. How do you think about this season? How do you think about managing the 6th title? Will it be easy or not really?
No, it's definitely not easy, but you know that has to be the goal. I would be lying if I said anything other than that, but the championship is a long way away. We have kind of 7 rounds until then. It's we have to wait a while, and we have to execute a lot before that, before we can even start thinking about the championship. So yeah, like I say, we have 3 SuperPole and 3 races to do tonight, and yeah, you got to go step by step. So you know, I think it's definitely not a round where you can win the championship, but you can easily put yourself in a little bit of a hole with how difficult the track is. So it's important just to, I think, get through tonight. We have a nice break from round 1 to round 2, because we had quite a short turnaround since hard enduro. So like I say, I mean, I think there's definitely some areas I need to improve still, and to be at my best. But yeah, I'm happy with where we're at. Let's try and get the defense or the chase for the 6th title off to the best start possible tonight.
You mentioned hard enduro, and I see many bikes next to you in the pits. Do you think that he's going to mess around a bit this season?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to have Manny here and Josep. I think we have the world champions of the 3 enduro disciplines all in one race. It's a really cool situation to be in, and it's good for them guys. I think it just shows the level and the position that the sport is in, and where it's going in the last couple of years, and the direction that it's heading. You know, the fast guys want to come in race with us, and I think everyone sees that the future is looking good for SuperEnduro.
You also has nice memories from Gliwice from last season here, 3rd in SuperPole, but 1st at the end. What are your plans for the track today? Do you already know the plan? Do you already have a plan? Or you still think that it might change a lot?
I think the plan has to be flexible. You know, you kind of have to deal with the cards that you get given as they come. You know, SuperEnduro is a crazy race format. Anything can happen. A lot of guys on a small track, and the track feels especially tight tonight. I think it's because the ground's so slippy. You really can't push in between the obstacles. So, like I said earlier, it's kind of, you have to be patient to go fast, which isn't the best for me. But there's a few areas where I think I can be strong. But overall, I think it's going to be an interesting track to race. You leave yourself open for an attack very easily in a lot of places in this track. So to know the best line, I think the best line for racing and the best line for the fastest lap is going to be 2 different things. So let's see who can put it together and be the strongest across the races.
Thank you so much, Billy. Good luck today.
Thank you. See you later.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Asher. So just hearing from Billy Bolt there, Paul, he's still the man to beat.
He is the man to beat. You know, he made a few mistakes in the last free practice there, time practice. He was actually down on the floor a couple of times, and it was Johnny Walker who actually set the fastest time, with Ash Brightmore in 2nd and Billy was 3rd, which was a little bit of a surprise. But like he said, the sport of SuperEnduro is in a really good place, and we've got multiple world champions from different disciplines within this motorsport. You know, it's fantastic.
And also kicking us off tonight, of course, we have SuperPole to come. We also have 3 Prestige finals. We've got youth finals, we've got the junior final, and also we've got Europe as well. We just saw some of the youth, some of the Europe. We got the likes of Gliwice is taking part in the Europe this season. But youth, of course, a few names from last year that we're already familiar with, Paul, in the youth category. Is that Johnny Walker?
No. Yeah, we're familiar with. There's a few changes moving around. Godino and Lampkin have moved up to the junior class, which is great to see, but you can see some names in there.
Kropich, Volchak, Connor Watson, of course, who did so well.
Michael Lashka, you know, and there's some new riders coming into there as well. You know, Alex Andrews from Ireland. It's great to see the depth of field that's going on, and I'm sure I'm right in saying that there's 99 competitors come today, which is an absolute record, right?
It is. And also, I was talking to this man today, arguably the best rider never to have won the junior championship.
True story.
Yeah, because Milan Schmuza. Well, I was talking to him and he was saying this is probably his last chance of winning the junior championship. But interestingly, he said, not only is it his last chance, it could also be his toughest, because he thinks the depth this time is going to be even stronger than it has been in the past.
Yeah, growing every year, as we know. And he was fastest though in the last time practice, so he's got first gate pick of it. But yeah, this was going down in this section. Billy actually went off the track in that part, but Ash set fastest time early on.
Yeah, Ash Brightmore.
Yeah, Billy pushed wide in one of the earlier turns, and I believe that he would have gone fastest if he hadn't have done that. But then last minute ditch effort was Johnny Walker, and he went fastest. So he has first gate pick at the gate, and he will be,
first time in Europe on the 450, of course, and he comes here on the back of some great success in the USA. Also great to have after his year out of SuperEnduro. That's a SuperPole list, but great to have him back in SuperEnduro is Manny Lettenbichler. He may not be in SuperPole, but he is here talking to Asher right now.
Manny, long time no see. It's been a year since you've been racing SuperEnduro because you had an injury, so we didn't see you last season. So the question is, did you miss it?
Definitely. Look at the paddock. Like, the paddock grew so much when basically I missed last season, and now you come back and we got 99 riders like showing up to qualify like tonight. So I think it shows how the sport progresses, and you also see how many riders they are like really battling in the front. Is I think the tightest year ever from like the top runners. So I got like 8th in time practice, and I'm like 2 seconds off or something like this. So it's pretty cool to see, but I definitely feel a bit rusty, to be honest.
So if you mentioned practice already, how do you enjoy the track? How do you like it?
Yesterday I thought it's like a little bit, how should I say, like wider and like quite fast. But today, honestly, if we're on the bike, it's like feels super tight and like quite slippy. So it's, I think, a pretty technical track. I think for racing it's going to be pretty cool, but hopefully there's not going to be a lot of carnage, because there's like some corners and like the rocks, I think it can just go like really wild with 14 people on the track.
And tell me, because I know that you're using the same bike as the same at the Enduro. So do you have to make a lot of adjustments to make it perfect for the SuperEnduro track? How does it look like?
Definitely, we're starting a little bit actually to find a proper setup, because I haven't raced last year. We have some new stuff which we progressed over the last 2 years now with the bike, and it's definitely not easy to find like a proper setup. Struggling a little bit with suspension, but we're getting there. Like, the team is doing a great job, and I think it just needs a bit of race momentum now at every round, like trying to get back and trying to sort some things out. But it's a huge difference compared to a hard enduro bike. We're way stiffer, have to hit stuff way harder than in hard enduro, and we don't go up and down the hill, you know. So, but I think the bike is pretty good. I think the bike is ready, and I hope I'm ready as well.
Okay, thank you so much and good luck today.
Thank you, Asher. Great to hear from Manny Lettenbichler there. So the riders are out. You can see just on your screen at the moment the 7 contestants for SuperPole. Billy Bolt has just come out. So this is what we've got for you tonight. We've got SuperPole first, then the first Europe Cup final. Youth is next, then Junior, Prestige, Europe Youth again, Junior and Prestige for their second, for their reverse grids, and then a little break, and then we'll have the Junior and finish with the Prestige tonight. So anyway, Paul, we have what looks like a very exciting track that you've had the pleasure of actually having a look at earlier on today. Let's see what Paul thinks of the track here in Gliwice for the Grand Prix of Poland.
Hey everybody, I'm Paul Bolton, and we're here. Right behind me is the start line of this track here in round 1 of Gliwice in Poland for the SuperEnduro World Championship. So, you want to join me for a quick check round it? But that right behind me is the most important part of the track. This is where you're going to overtake as many riders as you can in one corner. So, yeah, this is all important to get a really good jump off the gate. And then we're going to head into this first left-hander and get straight into a little log, which isn't too tricky at all for these guys, but there is an outside line that you can double it, and if you go inside line, you're going to carry the front wheel over that roller just over there. So let's get into this next right-hander, where I really believe that we're going to find a lot of the guys off the start, and as the laps roll, we're going to see some inside lines on this right-hand corner, just before the rock section. So, as you can see, after this right-hand corner where the guys are going to get a little inside, we've got a super long rock section. The guys were actually talking about this rock section being pretty easy as they did track walks, but as we've had all the free practice underway this morning, yeah, it's developed big time. So check this out. And just look, you can see, you know, how deep my legs are in these holes as a perspective for you guys. There's some different lines, riders left and then riders right. And as the night gets on, these rocks are going to get slippier due to the moisture coming up out of the ground. And yeah, it's going to get pretty loose out here. Also, what you can see on the other side of the log is it's a steep down, and you don't want to be getting your front wheel trapped in any rocks like this. So keeping your weight back, keeping over the back, and just letting that back tyre do the work for you and get through it safe and sound. If you get all laps in the races on this section, then you're going to be pretty free and clear to keep your heart rate low and looking for different lines, being creative with your track. But like, look how big these are. Some of the guys were actually doubling off this one completely over into there, and that's the rock section. So this corner here, just before the rollers, inside lines there, but you better get fast through this bit because you need to be right over the back wheel, holding on. And then this, just before the matrix. That is so good to ride, that roller section. Straight into the matrix. The guys are going to be tripling in, which means they're going to be jumping from this one to here. And then this is where not so many riders without in the whole classes aren't doing the quad. The quad from this one over to here. And you better not put your front wheel there when you're landing. So as we come into literally the slowest part of the track, we've got an inside line. The guys can run a bit wider. They've got to go around, but this is where we're going to see a lot of action here. This is one where the guys are trying to hop the back wheel to get an inside line for the last pipe. Or you can run a bit wider. Some of the guys are actually going to go wider and then jump the lot over the sandpit towards that finish line jump. And as you can see, it's pretty big. There's also an inside line there as well. But you better not tuck the front in here. If you come a bit front heavy over this bit, this sand's going to collect your front wheel. You're going over the bars. And then wide open, big scrub. I wish I could. Finish line. Let's go.
Hello everybody. Welcome in the first round in Gliwice. This is my track preview. This is first corner, over the step up, over the log corner, into the rock garden, and yeah, an uphill, downhill. It's pretty long and technical. Into the right corner, into the whoops, rhythm section, double single, left corner, into the matrix, triple in, double and double, into technical right corner, and another right into the pipe. It's very slippery inside here, and jump into the sand, drop, and over the finish. That was my track preview. Welcome in Poland, and all the action you can watch on the SuperEnduro.tv.
So Dominic Olshavi will be the first rider out for SuperPole this evening here. He's not 100% fit. He's had some ligament damage lately. Great to have Joseph Garcia here.
Absolutely fantastic. You know, what an asset to SuperEnduro he's going to be.
Okay, let's hope he'll make it more beyond one round. Eddie Carlson back with the stock in his second year.
Great to see them. They've been developing even more. I've been speaking to them. They're pretty comfortable. Let's see.
Mitch Brightmore, former junior champion again. It's his birthday coming up. I think it's tomorrow.
Coming off a great hard enduro season, and, you know, he's developing and developing.
Billy Bolt is raging after what happened this afternoon. thumbs up. He is still the man to beat, though.
And you know what happens when Billy's raging? Things go down. What about this guy?
Ashton Brightmore, back on a bike just 4 weeks ago. He's missed most of the year through injury, but he's looking sharp. But
So smooth.
Johnny Walker on the 450 for the first time in Europe.
Yeah, coming off that American season, and he is riding so well tonight. Let's see what happens now.
Well,
Here we go.
Jarvis already out.
Dominic's just finishing his SuperPole lap.
And so he's setting his time.
So, just lining up Joseph Garcia, Enduro GP, megastar, multiple world champion.
And also, this is something he's not used to.
He is not used to it like some of the others, but in Enduro GP they get a sample of it, Dave, and he has got the speed. And this track is a bit more faster than usual. The rock sections have developed a little bit more, but you can see inside to that double over there. That's big. Little mistake in that run there, Dave.
41.4 is the target to beat. And I think Dominic Olshavi would have been happier nearer the 40 mark. And he did tell me earlier, he's not 100% fit. Remember how well he went here last
from
year.
Joseph on the rollers. Triple on the rollers. Triple in and a quad.
Yeah, quad as well.
This is going to be a good time, Dave.
But this is where he's going to be in the tricky section now.
Yeah. They've got to let that back wheel touch. Good one-legger there. That was a really nice time.
Oh, that was good from Garcia. 41.3, a tenth quicker than Olshavi. Eddie Carlson is up next.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's a second faster than earlier on, because the track before SuperPole gets prepped.
Yeah, Garcia's best time in time practice was 40.5.
Okay, so yeah, maybe when the track gets a little bit more developed with some little ruts to hold on even there.
So Eddie Carlson, great to have Eddie back in Super Enduro and with Stark Future. The electric bike, of course.
Yeah, the arena goes quiet, Dave.
And so does the bike.
But man, does it rip.
It does, but also just the lack of a clutch. It's okay flying over. He'll do a triple here, and he'll probably get a quad. Not
He
quite.
cased the last one. That was super brave. He cased the last one, but his front wheel was over it.
But this is where he misses out on a clutch, is it here, or?
It's more on the matrix, to be honest. That's where he misses out a bit.
39.3. So he goes into P1. And that's faster than he went by half a second earlier on in time practice.
Now Mitch got pipped by his younger brother Ash. How's this SuperPole going to turn out between the brothers, let alone the rest of the prestige?
Yeah.
Which is the most important race, between your brother or the rest of the class?
Well, they always say you have to beat your teammate first.
True
In Mitch's case, his teammate is also his brother. So he has to beat his teammate and his brother.
That was tidy. And a little hop over that little log there. Setting the back wheel up, hopping out. Nimble over them rocks. And a big double out. The others have been doing that as well. Is he going to get... He's gone triple and then double. Interesting.
Billy Bolt is out on his sighting lap. So the triple and the quad on the matrix for
This
Brightmore.
is where the Brightmores have been super tidy. They go up, hop that back wheel out to the right, set it up and just nip through it. Interesting this one, I can't call it.
38.1. My goodness, that's the fastest time of the day.
Wow.
It's certainly for time practice and SuperPole, the fastest time to Mitch Brightmore. He has set the standard.
Wow.
What has the world champion, the defending world champion Billy Bolt got in terms of a response? We're about to find out.
This is going to be really good, I think.
Well, it always
Can
is.
he hold it together? Front wheels pushing nearly off the track everywhere. So big through them rocks. He carried some major speed through there. Can he get the triple through these rollers? He's gone triple, double.
A little bit quicker around the turn there as well than Brightmore was.
Now then, coming into the meaty part of the track where they have no room for error. They've got to be neat and tidy. Stalls it up. That's it, Dave. I think it's done. Or was that rock section too fast?
Wow. Bolt
He does it.
37.8.
He does it. That was from the rock section. He carried so much speed from there. He had a little bit left in it.
Wow, 37.8. The first rider to go inside 38 seconds here in Gliwice today. So He was wounded after what happened today, wasn't he?
100%.
He was wounded. He was absolute. I've not seen Billy Bolt like that for a long, long time. As Ash Brightmore now sets off.
Youngest man in the prestige class, runs a bit wide there. Has to sharpen it up round that corner. That's definitely cost him a little bit of rhythm.
19 years of age.
Oh, he nearly tucks the front, but managed to hold on to it through the rocks. Also very fast. He's gone double, single, double.
Johnny Walker is on his sighting lap, but what has Ash Brightmore got? Is he going to...
This is where he was putting the time down. That little hop with the back end. See, he didn't stall it. Him and his brother have got that nailed. It's fast, but I don't think it's going to knock Bill.
No, it's not.
No.
In fact, it doesn't even knock Mitch. It's 39.2, a second down on Mitch Brightmore. So Ash goes into third. Don't forget, there are championship points at stake as well. 3 for first place, 2 for second, 1 for third in SuperPole. And we're about to have Johnny Walker, the final rider.
Favourite part of the night for Johnny usually is the SuperPole. Talking to the riders, that tyre, if you can keep it tidy over that first tyre after the finish line double, then it's really nice.
Right, here we go. This is where it really counts. Through
He's
the rock
riding
garden.
too tentative. He's nowhere near as fast through the rocks as Billy. Well, I say nowhere near, Dave.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I know what you mean. We'll get a triple and a quad here, will we? Yes, just.
Yeah, last year Johnny was worrying a bit about power for some of the bigger jumps. Oh, he's done it. It's done.
Just as you called it there, Paul.
Yeah.
So he goes.
He'll be upset with that.
Will be. Yeah, 42.0. He's lost precious points there. Yeah, you can see he's shaking the head. He comes into SuperPole on such a high, fastest guy in time practice on the 450, on the back of the USA, brimming with confidence. Billy, not struggling, but Billy's had issues.
Yeah.
So therefore, Johnny comes in thinking, this is my chance to do it. And it just takes a moment.
Yeah.
Like we've just witnessed by the pipe.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He just rode a little bit too hesitant, didn't he? And even going into the rocks and things.
Okay, let's go down to speak to our SuperPole winner, Billy Bolt. He's with Asher.
Well, congrats for the SuperPole winning. You said before that at the practice you made some mistakes, but I see that you learned from those mistakes really quickly.
Yeah, I came out and looked at the track, picked up a couple of irons, still a big mistake in the final corner, but the track's difficult, the dirt's very unpredictable, so I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes tonight, but no, really happy with that. I needed it after the time practice, to be honest. But no, like I said, I'm happy. Came out and looked at the track and picked up, there's 2 specific areas I wanted to work on and I got them better, so happy with that.
And when we were speaking about time, you're the only one who made it to less than... When we're speaking about the time, you're the only one who made it less than 38 seconds. What does it mean for you?
I mean, the time's good. As long as I'm the fastest, I don't really care the number. But yeah, like I say, there's definitely still some mistakes I left out there, but I've seen Ashton and Johnny also made them, so I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes. You're going to be in for an exciting night.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, we saw a much happier Billy there, didn't we, Paul, than we saw about a couple of hours ago. This is how that finishes then. A 37.8, Billy Bolt. He said there, you may have doubted me. Doubt me no more.
And he collects the first points of the night. That's the most important thing.
Let's have a look at this again, Paul. Let's pick the bones out of this. So Dominic Oljavi away. Again, I mentioned earlier, he was so good last year. And then Mitch Brightmore was also really, really good, wasn't he?
He was, and you can see Mitch's front wheel is always like just tucking a bit. They're riding the front wheel there so hard, and they have the suspension set, so it's more, the front end's actually up and the back end's down, so when you're in the obstacles you can carry more speed through it, but that comes at a cost of then losing the front a little bit in the turns. And you can see Mitch riding that nice.
I've not had the chance to speak to Eddie today. How's he feeling about Gliwice?
Eddie's riding really well. He's happy. The team are obviously developing all the time. Track loves it.
Okay.
And yeah, I think he's a bit miffed with that top corner. He can't just get that how he wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's happy with that.
Talking about happy.
He only just landed that back wheel on the top of there. And Dave, those pipes, they're like plastic, and the dirt, little marbles are getting on the top, and they are so slippery.
Wow.
So no room for error over there.
Yeah, I think the phrase tonight is going to be happy, be Billy. Johnny Walker, here's that moment.
was it.
Oh. And again, that Super Enduro. That's what makes